And we are live, right?
Hey
So I
there,
will do
Arthur.
as usual my routine checks. If we're going live on LinkedIn, because sometimes the platforms do some jokes. Let me see if I get the notification. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Loading. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let me double check. Until I don't see the notification on LinkedIn that we are live, I don't start speaking.
Sounds good to me.
Yep, and we are officially live. So, thank you everybody who joined us at this point. Sorry for the delay. I just want to be sure that we are streaming on both LinkedIn and YouTube. I don't want to miss any of those platforms. If you cannot hear us properly, just let us know in the comments. So far, thank you for joining us once again. So, I'm pretty sure you already know that the main topic of this live is going to be Upwork in 2025. Is it still worth it to invest in the platform? And if so, how to do that in the best possible way? Before I let Michael introduce himself, I just want to let you know that, as usual, also this podcast is going to be, we have predetermined questions. So if it looks like I'm looking on my phone because I'm reading some questions, is I'm actually reading some questions because we decided together, me and Michael, these questions, and we prefer it in this way because we deliver the best value to our audience and we don't go off path too much. Without further ado, I think Michael, it's time for your introduction. Do you mind giving a few words about yourself?
Yes, of course. And I'm sorry if anyone can hear my microphone. I don't know what's going on with it. We'll fix it later one day.
No, it's much better.
So, anyways, is
As
it
you
good? Okay, good. Well, hi everyone. Michael Carrico here. I'm an SEO consultant at Carrico SEO, and I've been doing SEO for about 5 years now. So I am a little bit newer to the game. I started out in the agency world, and then I moved to Freelancer about a year and a half ago. Though I picked up some clients, a few clients in the agency world. So I've been freelancing for about 2 years now, and in all honesty, I don't think I'll ever go back, or for a minute, I don't think I'll go back to any sort of agency life or anything other than being a freelancer. So, yeah. Hi everyone.
it means that it's going very well. So I'm happy for you that you are not looking back at the agency life and keep 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 going, man.
Thank you. I will continue hustling. You know, the agency life had its difficulties, and so does the freelancer life. But in all honesty, I kind of like the freelancer difficulties better than the agency difficulties because they're like my difficulties versus an agency world that's like the agency's difficulties. I don't know, but I'm loving it. I'm not considering anything other. In all honesty.
Great. Well, let me see if somebody joined us already in the comments. Yeah, we have uh, Katarzyna from Poland joining us. So thank you very much. And if anybody has any question, just side note, just feel free to drop those questions in the comments. I will keep my eye on LinkedIn. So if it seems that I'm watching on another screen, is because also I'm keeping an eye on the questions. And I think we can start with first question that we decided together. Michael, are you ready?
Yes.
Great. So we're in 2025. The first question is Upwork actually still worth it in 2025? Should a freelancer focus on Upwork, or do you think it's better to focus elsewhere in 2025?
In all honesty, I think Upwork's where it's at. I have a Fiverr profile. I have obviously my own website. I have LinkedIn, Reddit, etc. And I'll by far for me, in the way that I do it, Upwork is absolutely the number one platform to where like if I need to meet a revenue number because I've set goals and I want to ensure that uh, I exceed those goals, the immediate place I move to is Upwork. Absolutely, like by far, it is the number one place, and I think there's a plethora of opportunity for freelancers, whether SEO, Google Ads specialists, graphic designers, copywriters, VAs, etc. I think every every type of industry out there that can be done digitally is absolutely Upwork is the place to go. It's where I hire all my outsourcing. Obviously, I don't do any of my own graphic design. I'm not a great software developer, so I have my own software developer that helps me. I have web developers that also help in certain situations. So I go straight to Upwork to do that because I believe in the platform, and I think it is really good. It's good to the freelancers, and it's good to the clients on both ends. So it's absolutely the place I think you should focus.
I jumped straight to the question if it's still worth it to invest in Upwork in 2025, but I didn't actually ask you how everything started from you. When did you start on the platform and
Yeah,
why?
great question. Yeah. When and why? Well, when it was probably 2 years ago when I decided the agency life. I liked it. I enjoyed it, and I worked for good leadership, and I had a good time in the agency world. I wanted more. I knew I wanted more. I wanted to experience more, and maybe this was just the one agency, or maybe it's all the agencies, but they wanted it the way they wanted it, and I wanted it the way I wanted it, and wanted to do things right the way I wanted to organize a template, the way I wanted to build a Python script, or how I wanted to manage a campaign. I didn't really get an opportunity to do that, and I did. I don't want to say that I didn't get any opportunity, because I absolutely did get some sort of opportunities and flexibility there, but I didn't get full flexibility, and I like full flexibility in what I do. And so I decided to, okay, well, why don't I take up some clients on the side? And then so I took up a client at first on Upwork. I Googled, where the heck do I do this? And Upwork obviously popped up. And so I went to Upwork, and I built a profile, and I went on there and I looked at the jobs, and obviously similar to probably everyone, I struggled at first. I'm like, okay, well, what does a cover letter on a proposal look like? What am I supposed to say? And this was about the same time that GBT 3.5 was out, 3.3 overall was out, and so luckily GBT was helping me with the wording, because I'm not great at wording. I've got if any USA individuals are here, I've got a Kentucky education, right? Like my grammar isn't so super great, right? I talk very casually, and I don't know how to talk super professionally, in all honesty, and so at an advanced level. So anyways, luckily GBT helped me
Now I feel
get to
better.
there. Do what?
Now I feel better because I'm not
No, you're good.
I'm not
you know,
mother.
I,
So.
coming from Barcelona, and a terrible Spanish speaker myself, I've grown a tremendous amount of respect for people who speak multiple languages, because holy moly, it is so hard. It is so hard. So anyways, if I can understand your English, you already have won for me. Like, there's no difference. Anyways, so and then here I'm gonna maybe turn my mic down, see if I can. Maybe that'll do better. Better
Yeah,
on the
it's all
background noise.
right. I
Okay.
can hear you properly. If
Okay.
somebody
Cool. Cool.
cannot hear you, just drop a message on LinkedIn. I will keep an eye,
Deal.
and I will let you know.
Okay, sounds good. And so I went on Upwork and I filled out a profile, and I put in a lot of proposals, and I learned a lot early on like what to do, what not to do, what clients I should take and which clients I shouldn't take. It's similar to anyone and everyone else. I took a lot of lower quality clients at the beginning, because those are the ones that would accept my proposals on someone who has $0 earned, right? And so it was difficult at the beginning, but then here's the key. I found three. Okay, no. Before I left the agency world, I found two really great clients that allowed me to do a retainer for them, and allowed me to kind of full hands the SEO front of it, and and that was kind of that snowball effect, And so that's how I got into the Upwork game, and then that's how I realized I need to continue the Upwork game, and I I need to really pursue this if I want to leave, if I want to become a freelancer, own my own business, get to do anything that I want, my own flexibility. Move to Barcelona. Hey, I didn't have to fill out a form on am I allowed to move across the world, right? No. Guess what? We're moving. It's simple as that. So yeah, I think that's how it ultimately started.
That's a very nice beginning. One, I want to start myself on Upwork. I don't know if now or in a few months, but one question that I always have in my mind is how long you think it takes on average before letting you say, okay, being on this platform, it's worth it. How long does it take to reach that level of income? Let's take as a benchmark, for example, Barcelona. How long for a Barcelona-based person would take on Upwork to reach a level of income that is enough to live quietly in Barcelona?
It's a good question. Now the Barcelona individuals are gonna, if they're in the comments, they're gonna say it's gonna take forever because the cost of living is terrible here, right? So, but outside of that mindset, there,
I could
um,
use the example of San Francisco, but there it was completely different. So,
all of the USA. Let's be honest. Okay, trust me, I'm trying to buy a house right now. Holy moly, what did I just fall back into right now?
yeah.
Okay, anyways.
Just checking Helsinki will change your mind about the rental prices. Here are very low compared to
Are
Barcelona.
they?
Yeah, just check later. After the live, possibly.
All right, deal. So, yeah, but okay, reasonable salary. Let's do reasonable income. How about that? And note that with all things, and I recommend this for clients as well, Upwork should not be your only platform, right? Same thing with a client. SEO shouldn't be your only marketing channel. It just doesn't make sense for 90% of businesses, right? You should always diversify, and we'll talk probably later about that. Um, and so I think from an Upwork perspective, let's pretend you're making it 50% of your income. Um, at the beginning, it absolutely is going to be slow. Why wouldn't it be slow, right? You don't have any dollars earned, and that's what clients look at. They click on your profile and $0 earned. How do they trust you? 0 jobs? How do they trust you, right? So that's going to take time. And what I want to say is, um, once you get a few of those clients, and I do recommend getting smaller clients at the very beginning, um, but you need to be careful with that because a lot of times smaller clients, aka ones that maybe pay a lot less, what I have found, and maybe this isn't true in all cases, and I'll 100% take that, that smaller clients that aren't willing to pay much are also really difficult to work with. As in, they have huge expectations, very little money and huge expectations. They want a $200 XYZ, and then you give them what you think is a quality XYZ, and they're like, no, I need do, and you're just like, holy moly. And why do I say that you need to be careful before moving to that route? Is because, and we'll talk about it later, your job success score on Upwork really matters on how high you show up and how a potential client sees your profile. And so I've actually had clients reach out and be like, tell me why you have you don't have 100% job success score. And by the way, I do have it. I don't know where they saw it, but what I've noticed is like they reach out sometimes because they're like fat finger typing to a lot of people at the same questions in response to proposals. And what I'm noticing is that that's questions that they ask a lot. Anyways, so what I want to say is I think you should pick up clients real quick, small clients, but you need to be cognizant of what kind of client they are. Are they good? Are they going to review you? Are you going to get absolutely screwed over, right? Don't do that. It's not worth it. You got to think the long game here. Okay, it's better to go slow and ensure that you're building this solid concrete foundation. Same thing with SEO, right? Build the solid concrete foundation, and then when you're ready to skyscraper it, then skyscraper it. So my point here is, you're saying how long will it take? It really depends on how quickly you can get those really good small ones, and you can get $1,000 earned or whatever income, whatever dollar amount you're using, currency amount you're using, and then I would probably say the 10K mark is where you want to be. And I say that as a someone who hires off of Upwork myself, is, and okay, maybe people will hate me for saying this, but like if you don't have 10K earned on Upwork, I'm probably not going to hire you. It's about as simple as that. Um, just because I need proof. I need proof that you're trustworthy, because the reason I'm hiring on Upwork is because I need to save time. That's my number one reason to hire on Upwork. Because I know how to work Photoshop. I know how to do Adobe Premiere Pro. I know how to do web development. I can, ChatGPT can help me with a little bit of software development. The reason I hire them is number one, because they're way better than me at it. But number two, which is equally as important as number one, is it saves me time. And so, why am I saying this? Because you need to think about it from a client perspective. If you want to truly provide value to them, come at it from their point of view and then build what you need to build. And so to build what you need to build, you need to have trust from them. You need to build trust that you're not going to be a waste of their time and a waste of their resources, aka their investment. And so once you can do that, once you can have a job success score, and once you have 10K earned, I think then it's going to be moving upwards. So that being said, it took me about 6 months working at an agency full time. I worked at a full-time agency, and then I got off of work and I did Upwork a little bit, right? I had clients. I did a little bit of client stuff, and I did real life stuff. So like if someone was doing it outside of the agency life, not doing a full-time job, heck, I mean, I don't know, maybe a month. And I truly do believe a month. And you could make a decent income once you get past that wall, that first wall.
And the wall you are mentioning is the wall of the 10K, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. That wall of the 10K and the job success score. I think both that's really, really important. Really, really
Okay.
important.
So let me recap this because it's very important. You're suggesting to go with small clients first, trying to find the retainers as soon as possible, and then try to achieve those 10K as fast as possible. Once these three things are in place, you think that Upwork gets much easier, correct?
Yes, absolutely. I don't know if Upwork benefits you more, like as in their ranking algorithms, but from a client perspective, absolutely. If I will say this, if because I see a lot of people that I try to hire, they've got like 200K earned, 400K earned, and I'm just like, and then I look at their proposals and I'm like, they're just like pushing out tons. It's like it's an agency under a freelancer's profile, and they're just pushing out 1,000 proposals and accepting every job known to man, right? That is possible. So, but absolutely, once you get past that 10K mark, I think you're going to be seen differently from a client perspective.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Social proof. Social proof. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. You have been on the platform for 2 years, right? Okay. So
Correct.
if you had to start today, how would you proceed to grow as fast as possible? Or we can reformulate this question by saying what steps would you avoid? What errors would you avoid to grow as fast as possible on Upwork in those 4 weeks or maybe 12 weeks that you mentioned before?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I think I'll start with the positive here. I think what you should absolutely do, you should absolutely work with a designer. With any business, you got to put a little bit of investment in to build a business. I think you should work with a designer to build a proper brand identity kit and to build a beautiful brand so that you can move that into a website. So that you can have, and it doesn't need to be a full website. It can just be a single one pager, and it can look like a resume or something, but build something beautiful. And you're going to hear me talk about that in a lot of these other questions, because I'm a true believer in not just doing quality, but going above and beyond standards that you typically talk about. So building a beautiful website. Why that should be your ultimate digital business card, right? So, but more importantly is when you build the website, you're going to be able to build other platforms. You're going to be able to have something to link to from other platforms. You're going to have maybe the design assets that you need to build a proper Upwork platform. And you're going to be able to build, whenever you're building that website, you're going to be able to understand what kind of tone and style you want to present as your own business, right? Like, how do I talk? What's my message, right? So just that basic fundamentals there. I would immediately work with a designer, brand identity kit, build a website really quickly, and then go straight to Upwork. That's 1, 2, 3, right? And then Upwork, I would build out Upwork, and I think we'll talk about that a little bit later too, and just like everything that you need to build out on Upwork, and you need to build it out fully, and every bit of it. And guess what? You can use what you used on your website to build it. It's very, very simple idea there. And then, like I said, get a couple of those small clients, get past the 1K mark. That's first goal number 1. Goal number 2, get past the 10K mark, right? And then after that, start applying to larger jobs. I think that's the immediate first steps I would do.
Okay. And do you think that in the past, when you were growing on Upwork, did you skip some of these steps that made the process harder? Well, actually, you mentioned just one step that could be skipped, the design. So the question is, do you think you skipped the design in the beginning, at the beginning?
Is the question, you think I would recommend that possibly could be skipped?
No, my question is, do you think you skipped the design
Oh
just?
no. No, I failed at it multiple times. I'll say that right now. Holy moly. I am not creative. I'm a very logical person. I think that's why I'm in SEO. Holy moly, and I did terrible. Here's okay. I'm gonna bash some things right now. I went to Fiverr for the first few months because that's what I knew. I knew of Fiverr, and I was like, build me a logo, build me a brand identity kit, and I did that. I have my actual company is under KTB Digital Media LLC, and so I built that website first, and I got a web page developer to build me a website, right? Because I wanted it to be nice, and all of those were on Fiverr, and it was terrible. I hated every bit of it. And if you go to ktbdigitalmedia.com, I've never even updated. I don't even care. The website's broke. It's got all sorts of terrible symbols everywhere. God knows what has happened to it. I don't care about the website, and I'm over it. But you head on over there if you're on here and look. It's a terrible website, and that's Fiverr quality for you. And so when I moved up, no offense to all the Fiverr individuals out there, that's just what I experienced. And I experienced that before because I wanted to be in YouTube when I was younger and stuff like that, and I always went to Fiverr to help me assist with YouTube things, right?
Mhm.
And I experienced the same thing back then, so I feel like it wasn't just Michael only gave it a couple shots on Fiverr. No, I'm confident I've spent a few $1,000s on Fiverr on 10 different projects on Fiverr, and not a one of them has ever once been satisfactory to me. And that might be me as a fault of someone hiring. Maybe I'm not doing a good enough job at researching and understanding my freelancer that I'm trying to hire. So it absolutely could be my fault. I'm going to blame it on Fiverr for right now, though. So anyways, move on to Upwork. I did find some graphic designers. I found I still work with her today. And I found an amazing web page developer, designer. Web page designer, to build out the entire web page for me because I'm not good at ideating it. I'm just not. I'm not very great at the creative idea of creating a beautiful site. And so Carrico SEO, while it is several years old now, and I do want to update it, and I am updating it at the moment. I do believe the look and feel of it is pretty decent. It's decent. I'd give it a 6 out of 10 probably, and so I absolutely did take the designer route. It was the step I took. While you're gonna do a multitude of things, by the way. You're not just gonna sit here and I'm only gonna have a website and not do anything else in the meantime. No, you should be building out your workflows, building out your proposal template, building out your XYZ, right? And so, definitely don't skip that first step, in my opinion. I think, and same thing with what you should tell the potential prospective clients on Upwork is you get what you pay for. Don't hire a designer that isn't going to be quality. Don't hire a $50 I'll build your entire web page design for $50 kind of designer, because you're
That
gonna get
artist.
what you get. Yeah, exactly. And so that's key number one right there, I think, because that's what I learned on Fiverr. And I didn't learn that at Upwork, and I do pay a lot for my web page designs and my graphic designs. But I tell you what, it saves me time, because guess what? I get it on the first revision, on the first instance, and they get it perfect. and I don't have to waste my time getting revisions or scrapping it completely and throwing $500 down the drain. Nope, I pay good and I get good, you know?
Yeah. My point of view on this, I agree with you. Just don't go with the ultra cheap, because you're gonna spend just more time feedbacking. But at the same time, don't go with the ultra premium agencies, because there is no sense. You're just starting out, and those are making you pay the premium because of the brand. So just go somewhere in between. And we are talking about Upwork, so hire a designer on Upwork that passed the 10K mark, has a good success rate, and I think you're gonna be happy. So this is how I would proceed, quite honestly.
I agree completely.
So some people are joining. Just I wanna let you know that Ian Ferguson from Brighton, he is in the chat. Patrick, the guy
What's
that
going on,
basically
Ian?
made us.
Patrick, I know both of them. We've had beers with both of them.
Yeah,
They're
Patrick
awesome.
just commented beer game is on point. I guess you are the king. We have beer.
Thank you very much, Patrick.
Yeah, and Ian, just let us know that his Upwork account is one of those which was set up years ago but has lay dormant since. So hey, just Ian, drop a message to Michael. Maybe he's gonna share some extra tips, and otherwise just stick to the live. We're gonna try to answer as many questions as you have. And if you have a specific question, just drop it in the comment. I have the phone here, so I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, which is I already made you this question at the beginning. What are realistic timeframes to expect good incomes? Just to recap, let's say that 6 months if you wanna be large, 1 month if you wanna go ultra intensive on Upwork. So 3 months on average, right?
Yeah, 3 months depending on how much effort you put into it, you know. If you only do one proposal in those 3 months, then absolutely not enough. But if you actually like legitimately, if you put serious effort into it, and maybe I should explain this earlier, is I got those 2 retainer clients in in December. In December, before I left the agency, I left the agency in a January. So in December, I got those 2 clients, and what it did was allow me to meet half of my revenue that I was making at the agency. I made half of it, plus a little bit of projects on the side, right? 2 clients plus a little bit of projects. I made half of my monthly agency revenue. But I got those 2 clients, and it took 2 clients plus mini projects, and it took 6 months because I was working the agency life full time, as well as doing my life, as well as doing my typical SEO educational courses that I like to do. On January 4th, I quit the agency world, and because I had 50% of my agency salary, and by January 11th, I had already garnered the other 50% off of Upwork. 6 days. Why? Was because I had full time now. I had 40 hours a week to do now, right? And I think that's the idea of this realistic time frame of, well, it's just how much time and effort are you putting into it? It took me 6 months when I didn't have much time, but I had effort, and it took me to do the first 50%, and it took me 6 days to do the other 50% because I had a lot of time and a lot of effort. So hopefully that helps explain a little bit too.
Yeah, absolutely. These are absolutely realistic time frames. And one thing is clear. We need to put effort into it in terms of design, in terms of project proposals. So here I go with a bit off script, with a off script question. I started on Upwork in December 2023 when a company just didn't extend my probation period with a very short notice. Like, I got kicked out with 72 hours notice. For European standards, that was brutal. Maybe for other part of the world, that is not. So I was in this rush on Upwork, because I was trying to restart grinding as soon as possible. I didn't want just to stay there and to burn money. I didn't want to do that. I tried on Upwork, and the majority of my effort went into one thing. It went into the proposals. So, and quite honestly, it brought me just crickets. Most likely because I was doing something wrong in the setup of the proposals, in the timing. So let's focus for a second on this part of Upwork. If you should give 3 recommendations about proposals, what these recommendations would be?
3 recommendations. Go off tangent real quick. Here's another positive. If we hire the graphic designer off of Upwork, guess what? You get to experience what it's like to be a client before you're ever on Upwork, right? So like if you're starting fresh, you get to experience what it's like to be on the client. And if you go to hire a graphic designer, you get to see, guess what, Arthur, you get to see 70, 100 plus proposals just like that. And you as yourself can go through each one of them and say, I hate that, why? Write that down. I hate that, why? I write that down. I love this. What made me love this? Was it their profile picture? Was it their job success story? Was it their money? Was it their proposal? Was it the video they sent? What was it? Write all of those down. I will do those from now on. Check, 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 check. And then go through and do that. Okay? So that's recommendation, I guess, from that first 3 steps we talked about a second ago. But if you're talking about the 3 things I would do from a proposal standpoint, always, and what I always do, and by the way, I haven't done since January 11th when I got that other 50%. I haven't done an Upwork proposal. Okay, wait, no, I'm gonna lie and I'm gonna say I've done 2 of them because I thought I wanted them clients, and I think I got both of those clients, and I just haven't needed the revenue since because it's kind of people just reach out to me now. So why I say that is it's been like a year and a half since I've actually put in a lot of effort on an Upwork proposal. But in those 6 days that I did Upwork religiously, I learned a lot about proposals. And the 3 things I would recommend doing on a proposal. Number 1, putting time and effort into it, which is what I heard you just said that you did. You put a lot of time and effort into it, and I think that's really vital because I don't believe in the mass number games of, okay, can I get 17 proposals done in an hour? I would prefer I get 1 proposal done in 45 minutes. And so what do I mean by time and effort? Well, if number 1, don't apply for just any and every job. Make sure you're finding a proposal that has information that you can utilize to put time and effort into it. Make a little short generated information about the proposal isn't enough. A ChatGPT generated job description isn't enough for you. What I typically look for, and I guess here's a little secret tip, I guess, would be if they put their website domain in there, oh, now you've given me everything. I can go and audit your domain right now, and I can do like a real quick brief domain. I can go look at who's the marketing director, who's the CEO. I can add names now. I can figure out, and if I see the person's name on there, I can go and do research on them. Like now, because now I know the company, right? Now I can go look at them on LinkedIn. And so that's a really key one for me was finding a proposal that has, number 1, a good dollar amount, as in they're willing to pay me, and number 2, has a domain in there so that I can put the effort in, which is number 1, put a lot of effort in to making the proposal great. And then I guess the other two things I'm going to provide you are about the effort, putting the effort in. Always do a video. I've always done it. I've always done a Zoom video or a Loom video, whichever one you want to do. And I don't half-ass it. I don't do like a script. I don't just like, hi, my name's Michael Carrico, and I would love to do your job, and thank you very much. Have a good day. Right? No script, no jank stuff. I get on the video and I was like, hey Arthur, I saw your proposal. I really like it. Hey, I was looking at your website, and here, let me screen share your website really quick. Let me show you a couple issues. I saw this, and this is like fundamental. You need to do this, right? As well as I was looking here, and if I were to do this page again, I would probably do it like this. But anyways, we can talk more about things. I'm happy to give you some free advice here. But if you would like to hop on a consultation call with me, then please just reach out and give me a message, and we'll do it. But I'm really looking forward to working for you. And I looked at your job description. And I'm telling you right now, I am confident I am the right guy for you. And all it takes is just hop on a call, and we'll hop on a call with me, and we'll make sure that we're right for each other. And so, yeah, looking forward to talking to you. All right, and then just end it there. And that was really brief, and I typically do it way better than that, obviously. But that video really matters, and it's unscripted. It's unscripted, and you just go live and give them a sense of who you are and your personality. And I was just talking to my accountant about it because I got my accountant. That was one of my first hires on Upwork as well, as like a new business owner, as accountant. And we both started on Upwork around the same time. And we were talking finances yesterday because he has access to all my finances. And he didn't even start. He said, "Hey, Michael, long time no see." And I was like, "Hey," and he's like, "I gotta ask a quick question before we start the meeting. How the hell are you doing it?" Like he was just like, it's like, how are you doing this? Like, how are you getting this kind of income? And he's like, I'm just not getting this success on Upwork. And so yeah, it's funny. We talked about that, and my wife was on the call because she helps me with the finances, and she was just like, we were talking about like maybe why maybe I'm successful with this. And what she said, her sticking point was, I think that Michael is so successful because he's just very honest with people. Like he doesn't try to do this sales tactic. He doesn't try to how to influence people book tactic them, right? He's just is like brutally honest with them on just like, I think you should do this. I don't think you should do this, and here's why. I really do think I'm the best. And so anyways, that's the point of the video. Be true. Be real to yourself. And then the final thing, for every single proposal that I do, number 3 would be, I always include a PDF of some sort, or a slideshow of some sort, or a PDF slideshow typically. Once again, you have a graphic designer. If you took my 3-step process at the beginning, right, on like how to create this, you have a designer create a brochure for you. I have an About Me brochure. It's about 4 pages long. 4 pages long, and it's about me. It's beautiful. It looks really pretty. It's got why you should hire me, who clients I've worked with, client success, all sorts of stuff. And then I also have, because I'm moving into the SEO audit niche. I don't work with clients anymore unless they do an SEO audit with me first, and it is an expensive audit. And I can talk about the benefits of that at a later date, but I truly do believe in an SEO audit. So now I have an SEO audit brochure, and then I have a portfolio slideshow of like a portfolio. And so depending on the proposal, I add a specific PDF in there. So I generate a really great quality proposal. I put a lot of effort into it. I make sure I put a video, a unique video into it, and then I always ensure I add a high quality branded PDF of some sort that matters to the client. I think you're muted, Arden. Oh, you can't even hear me. You're muted, brother.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was saying that I'm pretty sure that we lost half of the participants after your pitch because you were so convincing that probably they went to pitch already on Upwork. I said, damn it, this could work. So in the
Oh,
meantime, I
goodness.
also started to receive some questions. Yeah, let's keep the flow very natural. So I'll jump once again to the question of Ian. He's asking, how important is it to set up project services within Upwork? I will do XYA for. Can you get away with just finding work and outreach? What should the split be early on? Example, how many pitches did you have to send before people came to you organically? It's a long question, so if you want to focus on the first part, I can repeat it to you. How
Yeah,
important is it to set up project services within Upwork?
that's a great question. Great question, Ian. I have done that. I did. I'm here. Let me look at my profile because I haven't had success in it. So I did a local SEO audit I set up here, and then I did a Google Business Profile audit. Right, just like those little they're called project catalogs. That's what you're talking about right now. I tried doing those to see if they would work. The issue is that for me is that when I go and search the keywords into Upwork's project catalog list for what I'm trying to target, such as local SEO audit or Google Business Profile audit, it ends up being like $50 projects that are the first 40. And it's an issue I have with Upwork, is because their project catalog is supposed to be a competitive idea against Fiverr, because that's how Fiverr kind of works. However, Upwork's benefit is quality. There's quality individuals on there, quality freelancers. And so unfortunately their project catalog algorithm favors those that are really, really cheap. Why? Because really, really cheap is what people most often buy. And then they have a lot of projects, that successful project catalogs. And so if you've sold this local SEO audit 100 times, well, then you're going to show up the highest. Well, you've only sold it 100 times because it's $50. But let's be honest, your $50 local SEO audit, Google Business Profile audit, whatever you want to call it, is nowhere near the quality of what I'm going to provide, right? So that's my assumption right now, is that unfortunately a lot of the projects are really cheap. Now, if you're fine with doing a $50 just so you can get like 10, 20 of those projects on there, and then maybe see if your rankings grow in the project catalog for your different queries, then maybe that is an avenue you could approach. I don't have the time for that. I don't need that right now. But in the event that maybe you need it, that would be a really good A/B test on just like, okay, you know what? For the next 2 months, I'm going to offer this for $50, and then I'm going to grow it, and then after that, maybe I move it back up to 250, 500, 750, or whatever the heck you're going to do here. I tried, and I even tried this. And I don't think it's against terms of service. I had a few clients, current clients, and agencies reach out to me all the time to do projects for them. And I told them to buy it on Upwork, buy the local SEO. I think I only did it twice. Buy my local SEO audit on Upwork if you want it, and then I'll just refund you, because I want to see if it helps my algorithm to grow whatsoever. And it didn't. It didn't help at all. I've never had a single person reach out about any project catalog, Ian, FYI. Not a single one. So, and if you look at my project catalogs, I put a lot of effort into them. The images that you're allowed to upload are super high quality, in my opinion, and way better than the first 30 that you see on the project catalog on Upwork. I put a lot more effort into them. They're a lot cleaner looking. Let's be honest, it's going to be a lot better of an output, but I've never once had a single person reach out. My point there is, test it if you want to. It needs to be cheap. It absolutely needs to be cheap. There's no doubt in my mind it needs to be cheap. Otherwise, probably just ignore it. And then I think your second question, the second idea, what was that, Archer? I think you're muted again. I think it was...
Can you get away with just finding work and outreach?
Yeah. I think yes, absolutely. Those 6 days of just doing proposals, absolutely, that's all you really need, right? Minus you need a really quality profile and a quality proposal, but just doing that is absolutely a way to go. And I think I remember the final question here, because it was a 3-parter, right?
How many
Yeah,
did you have to send before people came to you organically?
Got it. Great. I think once I reached past that like 10K, 20K mark, I started getting organic out. People were reaching. Now, I've always had, I've got Upwork Plus, which I think gives like 80 connects a month. And so I've always had an availability badge on for the last 2 years, right? It's super cheap, right? You can just have it on. And then if you have Plus, you can have availability badge on for like 3 connects a day, and you'll never run out of connects. So you can just have it on 24/7 for a whole year, right? You just got to pay the $20 a month for that Upwork Plus. And so why do I do that? Well, that's because that's how people probably find me. It's because of the availability badge. And then I tested Boost Your Profile. I think it does work. You just got to pay a little bit, right? I don't do it anymore because I don't need it anymore. But so there's two different things you can do on Upwork to promote yourself as a freelancer: availability badge and Boost Your Profile. So both of those will allow you to have organic people reaching out to you. But I wouldn't recommend doing that until you've earned at least 10K on there. Um, 10,000 USD at least, or if you want to do euros, obviously that as well. I guess Ian's asking, so he's going to be pounds. So 10,000 pounds on there, and then yeah, absolutely boost your profile, do the availability badge, and people will reach out to you. And yeah, people reach out, and I have found, I found, yeah, I guess it's about five now. About five people who have reached out. It's been way more people who have reached out. I deny most people who reach out, but about five people who have reached out, I have ended up moving forward with, and they've been really, really good clients.
Nice.
And so,
I think this 10K threshold is a very recurring and necessary thing. So just aim for this 10K, and it seems that things start flowing on their own after a bit. Let's go with the next question. It comes from Katarzyna. Katarzyna, she is the girlfriend of Patrick, just to let you know. So she has a question, which is, how can you tell the difference between trap clients and good collaborations, especially at the beginning? Are there any red flags we can notice right away?
really great question, and nice to meet you over podcast. I yeah, Patrick's a really great guy. Just need to say that out loud. Okay. Anyways, red flags for clients. Oh, there are plenty of them, in all honesty. Cheap is one of the huge indicators, in my opinion, because even if you're early on, cheap. Yes, you should do cheap. A few small cheap ones that are just small projects. You shouldn't do a
Like,
full blown.
how
Yeah, go ahead.
many? Just to give a precise number.
How many small cheap ones?
Yeah. Two,
I'd
three.
say at minimum get past that 1K mark, right? So like if you can do whatever that, however many that is for you. I think I did a $300 keyword strategy as one of my first ones, which is actually that's kind of not cheap, right? It's a pretty good price in my opinion. He ended up asking for so much more after that. I was just like, oh goodness gracious. But I got my first $300 on Upwork. So, anyways, yeah, get past that 1K mark and do that. And then uh, what I learned early on, I think that especially my first 10K, I learned on those smaller clients was typically a client that doesn't pay a lot and asks a lot of questions before they ever even move forward with you. What they're already giving you signs of is that they have huge expectations.
Yeah.
Do you do this? Do you do this? Do you do that? What's your experience with this? What's your experience? Like, dude, you're paying me $300. Like, I'm spending more time answering your questions than I am gonna on your project, right? It shows a lot of expectations there, right? And especially I see that a lot now with I do look at job descriptions on Upwork just to gander around on what the vibe is like. And I know a lot of people ask a lot of questions, or one of them that actually outreached to me the other day wanted me to send in a video answering 10 questions, and they were not easy questions. And then they wanted me to do an audit, a small little audit on what would you do on our website. And I just sent back, yeah, I'm not doing this. Decline, right? Like, number one, free work, never. I'll give you free advice. I'll get on top of I'll get on your website together, me and you on a consultation, and I'll say, hey, you should change this page title, right? Like something like that, right? Something simple. But like a full audit, the second they ask for free work in the interview process, and I firmly believe this, it's an immediate no. Your mindset is nowhere near where I want to be.
Yeah.
And so those are two ideas there. Lots of questions and free work are immediate no's for me. Immediate.
Right. So 3 points, cheap, a lot of questions, and start right now. These are the key things. Okay, let me see if we have other questions. most recent. Yeah, Ian is thanking you about for the answer, and Katarzyna is saying nice to meet you too. Just to let you know. Okay, so we are entering the last 10 minutes of the live. Michael, thank you very much for all the tips that you gave so far, and thank you for everybody who is still with us here. We will not cover all the questions, so I think we can already start booking the next live event in a few months here. So let's move to the next predefined question. This we covered. This we covered. Okay. There is no flex. Okay, this we covered. Okay. Okay. So maybe we already covered this in part. Maybe not, but the reason why we didn't talk about this yet, but the reason I decided to invite you for this event is because 3 or 2 months ago, probably it was just a little bit before Brighton, I saw a post saying this is the end of UpWork because of ChatGPT O3, so the advanced capabilities of ChatGPT. They said all the low job is gonna be devastated, and we can replace it with AI. And as they think that Upwork is only about low quality jobs, this post flagged Upwork as a dead platform. What is your point of view on this? Is it Upwork really dead, or it was just a post that has some bits of truth, but it was more of a clickbait in your opinion?
Immediate mindset thought here is I think it feels clickbaity. As with all major advents of the world, the advent of the internet, right? There are going to be jobs that are lost or professions that are lost, or most of it is that professions change, right? We move instead of, they used to have those printers that had the little holes in them, the papers that had all the holes in it, and it was like one long piece of paper, and they had a printer. Things changed. Okay, we moved to, and I know I'm skipping many generations here. We moved to like a Wi-Fi printer, right? The printing company just doesn't make the whole one anymore. They switched to, okay, we're going to make Wi-Fi printers now, right? And it's the same thing with here now. Is I don't think all these people are going to lose their jobs because of AI. Just taking it, I think the jobs are going to change. Yes, it's absolutely, we're not going to be stagnant into the same idea. My workflow from a year ago looks vastly different than my workflow today, right? And if I stayed to a year ago, guess what? I'm not going to be very successful for very long, right? We have to evolve with it. And I think a lot of the freelancers on Upwork have to evolve. They're going to evolve. Yes, there are going to be things that AI is going to absolutely wipe the floor with, but there's going to be a lot more room to say, okay, this low quality stuff maybe is gone now, that maybe didn't take any effort or skill set to do. It's gone. But what that allows is the people that work typically in that skill set and the people who are close to that skill set, okay, well now what they need to do is they need to move their skill set over here. Because guess what? ChatGPT is going to move it here, right? Or AI in general, or scripting, or tools, or whatever is going to do this. Okay, well, how do you differentiate yourself from that? Well, you do what it can't, and you do better, right? And maybe you're using this. You're using AI to do better on top of it, right? And so now you're providing this for the same amount of time and effort as you did before. And so I don't believe a lot of people are going to lose. ChatGPT makes images, ChatGPT copyrights, ChatGPT analyzes data. Guess what? I still hire a graphic designer because it does way better than ChatGPT will do, because it gives me exactly what I want in a paragraph. Why? Because I send a paragraph and I send it to my designer and she makes it happen. I don't have to explain anything, do anything else. Same thing with copywriting. I absolutely use ChatGPT with copywriting and to ideate and content outline and to come up with general ideas here, and to write small sections, right, to help me elaborate on it. But at the end of the day, a copywriter and or myself are going to look at that and turn it into human items. The idea there is people were also saying it's the end of copywriters because AI can write copy. And the heck, it's not. No way. No way is it, I don't think. And I just saw the CMO of Ahrefs the other day. It might have been yesterday, post that his guide on AI writing, because blog post good enough to post on Ahrefs, however you want to say it here. And no, that's just my answer to that. No, I don't believe it. I don't believe there's ever been an instant in which they put a prompt in on ChatGPT, pressed send, and then pressed copy paste and posted it to Ahrefs. No, because they do so much better. Ahrefs blogs are amazing. They do screenshots, they do little videos, they do GIFs, however you want to say it. They do all sorts of really wonderful stuff. Yeah. I really do love their blogs. Absolutely no way. Right now, I'm not saying the future. I'm not absolutely not going to try to identify what's going to happen in the future.
Because nobody has the crystal ball here.
Exactly.
But this post was published 3 months ago. So 3 months later, you're answering this question, and you're just making it clear that there is still opportunity in Upwork. And here we recap all the live because we are approaching the end. There is still opportunity in Upwork, but just avoid those shady clients, following the 3 tips that Michael told you. Try to reach the 1,000 threshold, then 10K, 20K. How can you do that? Hire a designer. How can you do that? Send proposals that are convincing. Even better if there is the website of the client, so you can squeeze the hell out of their brand. Send videos, send PDFs, send portfolios, and we still have opportunities on Upwork, right?
Absolutely, and I think I guess as we close out here, I like to try to motivate people to freelancing because I truly do believe in it. I truly do believe in it. And I believe in Upwork as a really strong channel to reduce risk as a freelancer. Because to me, let's say I lose a lot of clients tomorrow, I will immediately go to Upwork to try to make that up. And so Upwork to me is a risk reducer because I have faith in the platform that I can go there and earn income in the event that I need it. And so motivation idea here is I spent 6 days freelancing to earn enough to earn what I earned in the agency life. Crazy. And then within 6 months I doubled it. And then within a year and a half, I now make quadruple what I make in a salary, from a salary standpoint, from an agency world, and I get to live whatever the heck life I want to do. I mean, if friends out there, you ask me what I've done this last year, and I have traveled the world and went to resorts and countries and got to meet awesome people like you. I gotta go to freaking England, right? I love that. Brighton was amazing. I gotta go to Brighton. That was awesome. And guess what? I didn't have to fill out any requests for a conference. I've got to live. I mean, like, I've lived such a wonderful life since I went freelancing, and such a free and flexible life. And I do it, 100% do it, and do it at a quality standard though. And I promise you will be successful. And Upwork is there for you.
Yeah,
seriously.
You get very interesting tips, and they have been helpful also for me because it's always nice to differentiate sources of income. We have, in theory, 90 seconds before we reach 1 hour of streaming, and we just got an answer. Do you mind if we answer also this, Michael? Question.
Yeah.
That's from Krishma Sharma. She's a marketing strategist, and she's saying, if I'm setting up a profile on Upwork for the first time, and I do not have freelance experience, but I do have corporate experience, how can I showcase that without revealing my previous employers or clients, since that information is confidential?
Great question. Now, there's some gray area here that I'm going to say, and I'll highlight the gray area. If you have success in your corporate world, you could screenshot just data that is successful, that does not provide any indication of your client, right? Like GA4, GSC, just a little chart. If if you're willing to take that gray hat, potentially unethical approach, maybe I'll let you make that decision. That's one idea. Number two, you can just explain it. Just like, hey, I have worked in let's pretend e-commerce for 5 years, in which I doubled their revenue, their organic revenue. I did XYZ for them. I love doing this, right? You can build that out, and just focus more on your brand yourself. So focus on a great profile picture. Focus on, well, I guess we didn't even get a chance to talk about an Upwork profile, what you need to do on there. Absolutely, you need to have a great profile picture. You need to do an intro video. Just keep it less than 60 seconds. I recommend hiring a video editor to do that if you don't know how to do video edit. And then create some portfolios in there, which can be what I explained earlier on a proposal, an About Me brochure. And I have an SEO audit brochure on there. I have an SEO audit example that's been redacted on there. So, but an example there is like you don't need any client confidential things to create an About Me brochure. The point of the About Me brochure is it makes your profile look more full and professional because it's your brand. Same thing with the intro video. You don't need anything about your corporate world to do the intro video. It's just you. Hey, I'm Michael. I love doing SEO. I want to do SEO for you, and I'm the best out there, right? Like, it's a very simple intro video. You don't need to talk about that at all. And so whenever you're first starting out, put what you can put in there. Talk about things generally. And then when you do have experience and you do have things that you can literally screenshot and showcase very thoroughly, then go back on your Upwork profile and start adding to it. Treat it kind of like a website, right? Like you don't build a 10,000 page website today. No, let's start with the first fundamental 20 pages, and then over time we're going to build bigger. Same thing with your Upwork profile. Start where you can, build bigger later.
Yeah, here we can drop your mic. That's good. Well, I think this was the perfect way to wrap up. And I see Ian is still online, so thank you for smashing the like on these questions. Thank you to Krishma to make these serious questions, because these are not silly questions at all. We really appreciate this type of questions. And this is the end of the live. If you have any other questions about Upwork, just drop a message to Michael on LinkedIn. If you have questions about SEO, reach out to him, reach out to me. If you have questions about LinkedIn, that's what I do for a living together with SEO. Just drop me a DM. And so far, thank you for joining us. Michael, do you want to say one last final word, or can we just push and stop?
Thank you all, I guess. I guess we can stop it. We could do this really cool clap where it's just like, all right, Archer, and then boom, and then you turn it off. Could we time that?
Let's do it. 3, 2.
All right, Ian, Patrick, everybody, I appreciate you. All right, see you all. Have a good day.